Hey everybody, my name is, well, you can just call me Sarah. My name doesn't change the meaning of the story. This is 100% true and goes back to when I was born in 1983. Yep, you did the math. I am 36 years old and I finally felt the need to tell this story. I was born in New York City on a rainy day in October, and unlike most babies when they come out, I wasn't born healthy. I came with a few factory errors, to the point that the doctors had to feed me through a tube in my nose. Yep, in my nose. And I'm just getting started. After a couple of hours in this world, the doctor said to my mom that I had a skull deformity called a microcephaly. My head grew normal on the right side, but the left side is kind of caved in. It looks like someone beat me with a baseball bat or something. And my ribs have the same problem. One side is normal and the other side didn't have a chance to fully grow. As a result, most of my body leans because of the way it was developed. How did this happen? Well, my parents weren't healthy either. Drugs and alcohol were their best friends, and obviously I was not as important for them as their vices were. So it didn't make a difference to them that they were both high and drunk the night I was conceived and probably through every stage of the pregnancy. Their lack of interest in their daughter caused me so much physical and psychological problems. To be honest, I'm just going to call it what it is. I look like a total freak. I'm the opposite of what a human is supposed to look like. And honestly, this world is not kind to girls that don't look pretty, let alone who don't even look normal. I've been this way my whole life and it just sucks. But there's nothing I can really do to change it. I feel like people are either afraid of me or pity me. I don't really have any friends and I can barely keep a job for more than a week or two because honestly, it makes people uncomfortable to be around me. Nobody would say it, so I'll do it. Living with deformities sucks. And I feel like the only way out of this is to end my existence. I literally have nothing to lose. No friends, no family, no job. Nothing to hold on to. Now, before you freak out, I'm not saying that I'm going to do it. I'm just stating the facts. It seems like my only option. I know some of you have to be thinking, why would you say stuff like that? Or there has to be another option. Please, feel free to put it in the comments because I don't see any. What other choice do I have? My life is meaningless and I can't even go out without attracting everyone's attention in the wrong way. And I just have to pretend and say that I'm happy and that I don't care? For what? To have my own TED Talk where I can inspire people about looking on the bright side? There's no bright side. I'm not looking for sympathy or pity. None whatsoever. I'm just telling you the point of this to make you aware that every human being is different. And please remember that people who are disabled and deformed still have feelings, desires, and goals too. So just have a bit of common decency if you know somebody that has a disability, whether it be physical or mental. Take a few minutes out of your day to bring them some joy. Because honestly, my life has been pretty joyless for a long time. Anyways, I guess this is kind of where I should let you go. But if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. And I promise that I'll do my best to answer. Serious questions only. And also as a side note, if you're going to have a baby, maybe don't do drugs and mess up an innocent person's life who you're going to push out 9 months later.
We have one more story for you guys. Check it out.
This way. I know I
Tenemos una cuenta más para ustedes.
Did you like the story? We have even more. Hey, my name is Caroline, and I have a story to tell you about the constant struggle of my life. I'll tell you directly. I'm not good looking. I'm not trying to sugarcoat it. I'm pretty ugly. And trust me, I'm not trying to be an attention seeker who's fishing for compliments. I'm really just being honest here. If looks are a genetic lottery, I literally haven't had a single number called. Both of my parents are good-looking people. So nobody really knows who I took after, but they swear I'm not adopted. I'm healthy, I have no deformations, no abnormalities, I just don't have a good-looking face. With no exaggeration, I wish I could tell you that I'm just used to what I see in the mirror, but I usually still want to call the exorcist every time I see myself in the mirror. However, I'm glad that I can be humorous about it instead of being super dramatic and telling a story full of suffering. But trust me, I haven't always had this attitude about my looks. Because believe me, I've received every single awful, offensive comment or well-intended but still offensive motivational phrase that any ugly person could hear. Some of my first memories are from being a toddler. I had no idea that my looks were abnormal. And the other toddlers I played with didn't either, but their parents did. They would say backhanded things to my parents like, "Oh, it's so much more important for a girl to be nice and polite than have good looks, right?" What the heck? Now, my parents always supported me. Now, they've never called me a beauty, but they've helped me understand my strong points and my weak points, and it's been really helpful. However, they couldn't help me when I started to go to school. You know how cruel kids can be. I can't even begin to tell you the things that I've been called because of my looks. Like, if you were reading a fairy tale about a princess and a dragon, you look more like the dragon than the princess. Hey, are you sure you're not adopted? Because you look more like a troll than your parents. But thankfully, they got accustomed to my looks, which was a miracle because I still hadn't. Even though it wasn't easy, I actually made some friends. I have a decent personality and people like to talk to me. And if I'm being honest, there's an extra benefit that comes with being my friend. My pretty friends look absolutely stunning in comparison with me. So that was my social role at school, the ugly friend. It sounds better than outcast, but it still kills your dignity. I'll admit that when I was in my early teens, it really got to me. I was so tired of being constantly mocked because of my looks. All of my friends were getting cuter, and I was still ugly. I figured I was never, ever going to get a boyfriend, and I was pretty depressed at the time. I tried to do the best with what I was working with. I took care of myself, made sure I had cool clothes, I worked out, I started using makeup early. My mom was actually the one who taught me how to apply makeup, hoping it would help. Thanks to her, I was still scary, but scary chic. For a second, I thought maybe when I grew up, I was going to get plastic surgery, but to be honest, I'm not the type to do that. First of all, plastic surgery to me feels like cheating. I think it's more freeing to live your life the way you're created. And in my case, I wouldn't even know where to start. I mean, unless they could erase my face completely and redraw a new one. So like I said, I was depressed. Even though I was doing the best to work with what I had, no one was attracted to me. However, I tried to take the situation with humor. Because after all, it's easier to survive if you're laughing rather than suffering. Somewhere along the line, somebody gave me the nickname Yoda. Because apparently, from some angle, we look like twins. And that's what they started calling me at school. I thought it was kind of funny because it seemed like no one was trying to offend me. So I decided to embrace it. I started cosplaying as Yoda. I spoke like Yoda. I called everyone young Padawan and was always giving out wise comments. And once for Halloween, I came dressed and wearing makeup like Master Yoda. Not that I needed too much makeup, to be honest. It was an enormous success. People appreciated and started laughing with me, not at me. That's when I understood that maybe the situation isn't so hopeless. Slowly, all of my schoolmates started respecting me, and I was actually voted school comedian. I eventually came to the realization that people are cruel towards those who are weak and embarrassed, but they praise those who are strong and comfortable in their skin. And I can't really blame them. That's how psychology works. And that's when I thought that I can have benefits with my face, even if it seems impossible. I've had several auditions at drama schools lately and received very good feedback about my comedic skill and unusual face. Imagine that. I guess everybody's tired of the same pretty faces. And good actresses with non-standard looks actually are valuable. So finally, I'm at peace with myself. After school, I want to go to acting school, and my face will be my trademark. I'm still a little scary, but I'm proud of it instead of being depressed by it. And that's what I want to tell everyone who's embarrassed by their looks. Be proud of them rather than be ashamed. Own who you are, and may the force be with you. Thanks for listening to my story. For more stories like this, be sure to subscribe to this channel. Please give this video a thumbs up and comment below to let me know what you think.